is really in charge. The tech guys.
We got a drum lead into this, guys.
3.
Roadside Attraction, April 14th, 2019. But damn it, it does matter.
Now, our opening thought for this show is from our post-production guru, Charlie Parker, who said something to the effect of, people like to be all cool and say whatever, or so what, or it doesn't matter, but damn it, it does matter. That's the message we need to get out there.
That seems like a good idea. How do we get that message out there?
Well, it seems like we already did. We shouted it twice already.
Seems like you need to actually mean it. You gotta say it from the gut. Damn it, it does matter.
All right, fair enough. I bet if we get Matt Byanski to say it, we'll get the message out there.
Damn it does matter.
Yep, that worked.
Well, let's get Sharon Lane to say it.
Damn it does matter.
Hell
yes, it does.
What about Khrys, Rich, Kyleen?
Damn it does matter.
Now, let's hear it from Erich.
You have entered the event horizon at Roadside Attraction.
Now, we got stories and songs, a giant ball of twine, a 2,000-pound groundhog.
That's me.
Unforeseen insights, unintended hindsights, improbable delights. Okay, hey Matt.
Hey, what's up, Mark?
What's going on?
Mini bingo, baby.
Well, we hear you guys got a song ready for us. You want to hit it?
Hell yeah, let's hit it.
Listen to my charge, request for gold and higher meaning. Oh, helpless we shall carry on, slaves to culture, paraphernalia. So be not what you are, be today and own your fury and heal those relations from beyond with those who hold the keys to being. Tell me more, tell me more, tell me more, let's begin. Sleep is not for now, get to your feet and make it happen. Invent your way too far. Don't be ashamed and never worry. And waste not what you say, or you do, or you're feeling. With every breath you take, you feel the way, you feel the pleasure. Tell me more. Tell me more. Tell me more. Let's begin. Messenger of time, please be kind, show your mercy, for we are not the sort to engage in what's expected. So take me on a drive, let me breathe, and let us wander and heal those relations from beyond with those who hold the keys to being. Tell me more, tell me more, tell me more, let's begin.
All right.
Thank you.
Man, Matt, there really is a good group of musicians in this ever-changing band.
It is great, man. So you know Red. This is Red Baumgardner here.
Yeah.
And I'm Matt Byanski, and we're kind of the founders of Nasty Bingo. So we're mini bingo tonight, and we've got Erich Reith here, who's a part of Nasty Bingo, and Khrys Blank. So we kind of got a full nasty going on. We got Don, right? Don on the drums, and Marceia on bass tonight, and the wonderful Reuter on guitar. And we're going to hear from Sharon Lane later, so.
Oh,
So we got a lot of good musicians. Got a lot of good musicians here.
All right. Well, buddy, how about a little traveling music now?
Oh, let's do it.
You're listening to Roadside Attraction, brought to you by the Future Works, your one-stop supplier for post-digital era. We sell survival. Get it while you can. And by
The packing plant by the river. Our hot dogs taste like catfish liver. Still the customers come. God love them, they're dumb. Through the open doors to the killing floors. Well, it's a ding-dang dong. Gimme, 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 Dimmy Jean.
Hey there, and a big old how are you to you? It's me again, Dimmy Jean, your friend from down at the packing plant by the river, and a major new player in the multi-billion-dollar junk food market for kids. You know, we're just as happy as a stray dog on garbage day to be able to report to you fantastic sales of our recently released junk food product for kids. I'm talking about bug nuggets. Well, they're not really bugs, they just look like bugs on your plate, and we sell them with our own patented squashed bug sauce, and sales have been overwhelmingly exceeding our expectations. In other words, we made a great big pile of money for nothing, and that's why we're going to go see if we can't come up with some other junk to sell kids and their parents. You know, we got a lot of mileage out of that bug idea, and the marketing guys think they are just about the most clever people around because of it. But one of the maintenance guys down here at Dimmy Jean Products brought to our attention that we actually do have a whole lot of bugs and slugs and worms and creepy crawlies that live down here in and around the packing plant by the river. And our hoity-toity nutritionists that were required by law to hire told me that them kinds of critters do have a lot of protein content and might even have more nutritional value than our regular line of mostly meat byproducts. And these people was wondering if we might not be able to use some of them bugs when we was making our bug nuggets. And I said, well, yuckaroo and ding-dag dog, no, I promise the children that we will not use real bugs in our bug nuggets. And I'm Dimmy Jean, and that means I pretty much like to stick to my word whenever it's practical. Well, them marketing department people says to me, Dimmy Jean, we can make a great big pile of money on them bugs. Now, that's a pretty persuasive argument. But you know, even business people like myself got to recognize that children are the future and the hope of the world. And that's why I want to talk to the youth market on this here program tonight, because here's the deal. Adults ain't listening, right? Okay, kids, we got a brand new product down here at Dimmy Jean's called Dimmy Jean's gluten-free, low-fat, low-cholesterol, high-protein fritters, and we make it out of bugs. Don't eat it, kids, but talk your parents into buying it for themselves. That way, while you're sitting there eating your bug nuggets that are not made out of bugs, you can just sit there and smile because they're eating fritters that really are made out of bugs. Don't tell them. Just let them keep it between ourselves. I mean, after all the terrible stuff like sweet potatoes they've made you eat over the years, wouldn't that be kind of fun to even score? So, next time your mom's going to shop, and tell her to pick up some bug nuggets for you and some low-fat, gluten-free, low-cholesterol, high-protein Dimmy Jean fritters, and you can all have a dinner to remember. Make America eat bugs again.
Gluten-free, low-fat, low-cholesterol, high-protein fritters are part of a caveman diet. They're perfect for hunter-gatherer-themed cocktail parties. Seek immediate medical attention if more than one person experiences severe abdominal pain, catastrophic bloating, explosive flatulence, or loss of consciousness not caused by alcohol. Memory loss has been reported. Fritters may contain insect eggs, which can hatch and may include you in a long-term parasite-host relationship. Tell your doctor if you begin to show signs of an exoskeleton. Dimmy Jean Products is not responsible, period.
You know, it is really an example of visionary thinking to have a sponsor like that. In one version of the future, we really will use insects for food. Research is underway. In another version of the future, we might have to lift up rocks and eat whatever we find there. Oh well, whatever. But instead of the future, we sometimes like to visit the past. Now here's Windsor Knotts with his take on a Southern classic folk tune.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Flies in the butterfly shoe, fly shoe. Flies in the buttermilk shoe, fly shoe. Flies in the buttermilk shoe, fly shoe. Skip to Maloo, my darling. Oh!
Okay, stop right there. Did you say flies in the buttermilk? You have flies in your buttermilk, and your reaction is to say shoe, fly, shoe?
Yes, ma'am.
You've got to throw that buttermilk out. We can't have flies in our buttermilk. You're planning on just going ahead and dancing Skip to Maloo? No.
Pretty much.
Not happening. It's amazing that humans have made it to this century.
All right. We need to turn the corner here. Now let's head on over to the big front porch. All right, folks, we're here on the big front porch at the Center for Therapeutic Indolence. We like to keep our guests there and serve them iced tea. Then they repay that small kindness with a big gift of music. Here is Chelsea Yu.
I'm here to sing a Filipino song. I'm an exchange student from the Philippines. Di mo lang alam, naisip kita. Baka sakali lang maisip mo ako. Di mo lang alam, hanggang sa gabi inaasam makita ka muli. Nagtapos ang lahat sa di inaasahang panahon. At ngayon ako'y iyong iniwan. Luhaan, sugatan, di mapakinabangan. Sana nagtanong ka lang kung di mo lang alam. Sana nagtanong ka lang kung di mo lang alam. Ako yung nasaktan. Baka sakali lang maisip mo naman. Hindi mo lang alam kahit tagal ng panahon. Ako'y nandirito pa rin hanggang ngayon para sa'yo. Lumipas mga araw, naubod ng saya. Di pa rin magbabago ang aking pagsinta. Kung ako'y nagkasala, patawad na sana. Ang puso kong tagal ngayon lang nagmahal na ganito. Sana'y nakinig na lang ako sa nanay ko. Di mo lang alam ako yung nasaktan. Baka sakali lang maisip mo naman, puro siya lang. Saya ko naman, di mo lang alam. Ika'y tila bumabalik lahat sa tuwing nakukulitan. Baka sakali lang maisip mo naman ako'y nandito lang, hindi mo lang alam. Matalino ka naman kung ikaw at ako ay tunay na bigo. Sa laro na ito ay dapat pang sumuko. Sana hindi ka na lang pala aking nakilala. Kung alam ko lang ako yung masasaktan ng ganito. Oh, 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 di mo lang alam ako yung nasaktan. Baka sakali lang maisip mo naman puro siya lang. Saya ko naman, di mo lang alam ika'y minamasdan. Sana yung mamalayan, hindi mo lang pala alam, di mo lang alam. Malas mo, ikaw pa ang natipuan ko. Di mo lang alam, ako yung nasaktan. Thank you. For my next song, we're doing a cover of Come Together. So if you know the song, sing along. Here come old flat
Chelsea, you, everybody.
RoadsideAttractionLive.com is a treasure map. There are gems and essences there for those who search. Todd Widener, Dennis Rotterman. Take a look at our regular warehouse of authenticity.
And folks, in that warehouse is a filing cabinet stuffed full with ideas. There's a folder in the top drawer that says Bill Mooney. Some of the paper in that folder dates from a time when people used paper. But Bill's approach predates paper. He recites poetry from memory. Now, he's been doing that since the 1960s, and it just gets more relevant. Here's Bill.
Hi. The poem I'm going to do tonight is one I like to try to do at least once a year in memory of a friend of mine named Tom Till. He was a local artist and a wonderful person and a childhood friend. The first time I recited this poem was in the fall of '84, and it was at Canal Street Tavern. Sharon Lane was hosting the Musicians Co-op. And that was the night that we actually met. Yep. So Tom was a local poet or a local painter and artist who achieved national fame. He was also the staff artist at the Antioch Bookplate Company. But in 1982, he hit a Great Depression, and at the age of 39, went away with himself. So this poem was written in reaction to those chaotic emotions resulting from his suicide. But I hope you'll bear with me. He deserves to be remembered. Sometimes I think the storm has passed, at last the calm of dawn, and on to peaceful morn. Beginnings and the end are my desire, the spire of yearning through the night. With light, the birthing spirit will release. At least, this has been my dream. And now another dying of a friend has ended this belief. In grief, somehow united, though long apart, how tart the taste of love has grown, and now the darkness cast. Thank you.
Bill Mooney, everybody.
You're listening to Roadside Attraction, recorded live at Yellow Cab Tavern in Dayton, Ohio. Home to Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, the science center of the U.S. military. We can neither confirm nor deny the presence at Wright-Pat of Roswell aliens. But we can confirm that there is an abnormally good supply of blues music in this vicinity. These things may or may not be related. Welcome to Dayton.
All right. Now, hidden in plain sight at the Roadside Attraction is the Oracle booth. Now, Sharon Lane hangs out there, and she'd like to have a word with you.
Well, I'm pondering on the fact, does it really matter? Well, I sat down and I decided to play a song for you all, and it doesn't have a title. And I thought, well, does that really matter? Well, yeah, it really matters to some folks. And I thought, well, you know, here you go. You have a lot of things that matter, but does it really matter? Because sometimes we think things matter and we carry them around with us for weeks, maybe years, sometimes almost to the end of our life to only say, wow, that really doesn't matter. And then we turn around and there's other kinds of matter. You know, there's like duck poop in the corner of your eye kind of matter that you walk around and the only reason you find out that it's there is because some 2-year-old has a nerve to go, you got gook in your eye. And you say, wow, you should wash your face every morning, and I didn't. And so you have this duck poop stuck in them, and it's matter. But does it really matter? Well, yes, it does matter. I know I should name my songs because some people would like to know the names of a song so that they can, like, tell other people about the song. But then sometimes I like to give room for people to make up their own titles of songs. So therefore, does it really matter? I'm not sure that it does, because in the long run, what matters right now won't matter someday anyhow. So, but does it really matter? So for the sake of saying that it matters, and I think you should have the name of my song, we'll just call it Tippy Toes for now. Old man sitting on the side of the road, rubbing the bottom of a worn-out soul, spits in that old tin can, tells his stories about Vietnam. When he closes his eyes, he dreams of a girl that danced in the middle of the road on her tippy toes. Old man standing on the side of the road, searching for a long lost soul, wipes his mouth with the back of his hand, remembers playing in a nitty-gritty band, and when he closes his eyes, he dreams of the girl that he kissed in the middle of the road on his tippy toes. Traveling down that old dark road, he dreams of things of long ago, and I forgot the chords right there, so I'm gonna start over. This is my 5th attempt to do this damn song. Now, what makes it worse? Does it really matter? But does it really matter? Well, it really matters to me that this is my 4th attempt and I can't remember a song that I wrote. I claim old age for everything, you know, because does it really matter? It really does. When you say you're old, people leave you alone. They go, oh, she's old. Old man sitting on the side of the road, rubbing the bottom of a worn-out soul, spits in that old tin can, tells his stories about Vietnam. When he closes his eyes, he dreams of the girl that danced in the middle of the road on her tippy toes. Old man standing on the side of the road, searching for a long lost soul, wipes his mouth on the back of his hand, remembers playing in a nitty-gritty band, and when he closes his eyes, he dreams of the girl that he kissed in the middle of the road on his tippy toes. Traveling down that old dark road, he dreams of things from long ago, when he kissed that girl in the middle of the road, standing on his tippy toes. They danced, made romance on the tippy toe. Old man walking down an endless road, shifting a heavy load, strikes a match on the bottom of his boot, and he thinks of a boy that he once knew, and when he closes his eyes, dreams of the girl that danced in the middle of the road on her tippy toes. Traveling down that old dark road, he dreams of things from long ago, and when he kissed that girl in the middle of the road, standing on his tippy toes, they danced, made romance in the middle of the road. In the middle of the road.
Sharon Lane, everybody. Now, see, here's the thing. Now, we captured Sharon's performance on audio and video. There are recordings of Sharon Lane that go back decades, but you need to be in the room to really get it. Now, if you're in the real audience, you contribute to the performance. Sharon doesn't just play for you, she involves you. And she's a regular here, and we're proud of that.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Now, folks, Kyleen Downes. We start that over. Save me, Charlie.
I'm not the only one.
Kyleen Downes will be playing a full set for Live at Yellow Cab, which will start right after Roadside Attraction. You can get the links to this show and Kyleen's full set at roadsideattractionlive.com. Follow the links to the Podbean player. Past shows are there too. Now let's preview her set with a tune from Kyleen.
All right. I'm going to play a song I call Tiny Little Table, which I wrote while sitting at a little tiny table. And it grooves a little something like this.
Looked around, found a little tiny table, and I sat down, had a drink at the little tiny table. And she came in, said, what can I say to make you have a better day? What can I say? And I said, come on, sit down. Come on, sit down. Come on, sit down. Come on, sit down. Plans, but I didn't write them down. And I might understand when you say you don't have the time to get out of town, to get out of town, to get out of town. And I said, come on, sit down. Come on, sit down. Come on, sit down. Come on, sit down. Won't you come, won't you come, won't you come on, sit down. Won't you come, won't you come, won't you come on, sit down. Won't you come, won't you come, won't you come on, sit down. Won't you come, won't you come, won't you come on, sit down. Won't you come, won't you come, won't you come on, sit down. Won't you come, won't you come, won't you come on, sit down with me. Won't you come, come on, sit down. Won't you come, won't you come, won't you come on, sit down. And I said, come on, sit down.
Thank you.
All right, Kyleen. Now, all you folks in the audience, remember, she'll be playing a full set after this show, so stick around. And if you're listening on the podcast, follow the links. Check it out.
It's time for the Charlieville reports.
And so it seems. Let's hear from Scott Millsop and Matt Byanski.
Ah, damn it. Lanny Martindale died. I'm only now aware enough to understand what my old teacher was talking about, and only now brave enough to really stand up for something. And I wanted to tell him, and I wanted to thank him, and I wanted to ask him a question. But instead, he's gone. When I was a young man, I was hungry for knowledge, so I visited Lanny whenever I could. And now, I was going to go knock on his door like I used to, right after high school and all through college. I knew his face would be older, mine is too. I haven't seen him often in the last 30 years. But I knew I would be welcome, and I knew he would pause before he smiled, taking my measure, reading my lights, and then he would turn and walk toward the kitchen and invite me to follow him to the coffee pot. That's how it works. But it's not going to happen, and it makes me mad. There was an orchard behind his house, not his orchard, but we could see it as we talked on his back porch, and there were ideas from our talks that live in that orchard in my mind. It's a place of knowledge. Didn't Newton get a bonk on the head from an apple and then say, aha, gravity? Didn't Eve eat from the tree of knowledge in an orchard? And didn't Lanny say,
knowledge is a pretty cool acronym. Maybe it's a tool, but it certainly is not a worthy end goal.
And didn't that sure as hell baffle me for a decade or two to hear my favorite teacher disrespect knowledge? Lanny said,
we live in an information age. Information. Get in line. Know your place. Memorize your moves. And in this place, knowledge is rewarded. Data is treasure, okay? But hell, a machine can know things. Still, that's okay. But now we've made it even worse. We've decided to devalue understanding. When understanding is offered, we reject it as subjective, just anecdotal information. If someone were proposed the idea of wisdom these days, we would find that many of the great minds of our time would argue that such a thing as wisdom does not even exist. But they'll ignore the law and overthrow concepts like privacy or respect to get them some data. It's easy to see that's unwise, and so far, we're only talking policy. Here's the worst of it. We live in a time where we know so much that we do not really know. It's a time when we all experience what we do not have. We have experiences through media, and we think they are real experiences. It is common between the most ordinary people and leaders of nations. We all know how to play good cop, bad cop. We know what it's like to live on a mean street. We know how the mob acts. We know how to kill vampires. We've jumped out of airplanes. We've exchanged meaningful glances across the room. We fall in love at first sight. We get in gunfights every day. But we don't actually do any of that. What we do is stare at screens all day, at work, at home, and with smartphones, we stare at screens in between our screen stations. We are literally becoming two-dimensional. We're losing depth perception, but we are knowledgeable about everything. Useless and pointless knowledge.
Lanny fell behind in the narrative, though, because he unplugged from media. He took long walks. He took up guitar a while back. He said to me, look what I found.
It's an E7 sharp 9. It's sort of a discordant if you just strum it. But if you hit it like you mean it, It can change the world. It did change the world. It's called the Hendrix chord. It only sounds good if you mean it. Intent is important, and you get intent from understanding, not knowledge. It is spiritual energy.
I had not heard from Lanny in a long time, but then I got a letter in the mail, pen on paper. It said,
following up on our previous conversations, I'd like to add to an unexpected and unwelcome insight, something opposite many talks we've had previously. The insight is this: with anesthesia, you do not have experiences that you actually have.
I should not have stopped to think about that. I should have run right to him right then, but I let some time go by, and then Lanny had an experience which we will all have, one we know nothing about, something we don't understand. My question for him was a big one. My question was, why do we live like this? Why do we create imaginary worlds that fill us with fear, doubt, and danger, quarrel, and guilt? We don't even allow ourselves pleasure or satisfaction. We can't even relax. He would have smiled. He would have simply shrugged all philosophically. And I would have said, damn it, it does matter. And he would look me in the eye and hold my gaze, and he would say,
okay, yes. Now what are you going to do about it?
All right. All right. Now it's easy to just roll on down the road. You sort of have to do that to get to Roadside Attraction, but it doesn't mean you have to be oblivious. You are the only thing you know. Your input is valuable, your action is required, and yes, damn it does matter.
A special thank you to the Yellow Cab Tavern for hosting the IRL version of Roadside Attraction, and to Tara Moore. Mark Jeffers is our host on the podcast and our host at Yellow Cab. Mark and Tara make it all possible. Come in for Showcase Thursdays, too. It's a singer-songwriter listening room hosted by Windsor Knox. It's always good, often great, and will sometimes have you thinking, wow, I am incredibly lucky to be here. Windsor is our musical director, stage manager, sound tech, and backup guitar player at Roadside Attraction. Our featured performers today were Chelsea Yu and Kyleen Downes. We heard from Minnie Bingo, a.k.a. Matt Byanski, and Bryan Baumgardner, a.k.a. Red. Sharon Lane shook our windows and rattled our walls. This version of the Roadside Band was Marceia Cornwell on bass, Khrys Blank on vocals and percussion, Erich Reith and Don Winegar on drums, and Reuter on guitar. Scott Millsop wrote and produced Roadside Attraction. He was also Dimmy Jean, and then he filed a report from Charlieville. Sharon Lane did double duty as a storyteller and singer. Bill Mooney was our resident poet. We understand that ideas are energy beings that think for you, and we encourage you to hit the back button on the podcast player to rethink them. Brandon, Jeff Bob set up the sound. This is Jeff's room. It's a really good room. Charlie Parker gave us our theme, and he brought us lights and post-production services. He is Visitor 29. Brandon Berry is the video producer, director, and editor of this video thing. Camera operators were Charlie Parker and Keith Irvin. No, not the country guy. I'm Molly Millsop, the voice of the 2,000-pound groundhog. Roadside Attraction is an AHA production.
yes it is.